What's up, guys? It's Zach from High Def Physical Therapy. I want to show you some exercises today to loosen up the stiff hips. So the first position I want to start in is what I call hip 90-90. So I like to just sit here in this position, and I like to stay here about 30 seconds each side, maybe even a minute. You want to find a position, notice I'm posting up on my hand. You want to find a position where it's not too painful. You feel just a little bit of stretch here, maybe some stretch on the outside hip. Eventually you want to get to the point where you can sit up pretty straight. This hip is never going to get all the way to the ground, but you definitely don't want it to be like so tight where you're lifting up like that. That just shows you don't have a lot of internal rotation of this hip. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time here in this position. Then I'm going to flip it, and I'm gonna do the other side. So I always like to have symmetry, no matter if one's tighter. You could spend a little bit of more time on the tight side. Like if you're like, oh man, this one's so much tighter, you can spend a little bit more time on this side. This is what I like. And then you could also do like a dynamic movement between. So I'm basically keeping my feet connected to the ground and I'm pivoting through. If that feels too difficult, you can lean your hands back and you could just do it the same way. So you're just doing these like hip windshield wipers, which helps to loosen up the hips. The next one that I like to do is I like to do a piriformis stretch. So I'll lay down on my back, cross my ankle over my knee, and then I'm just gonna pull this knee over to my opposite shoulder. And you should be feeling a stretch right here. So this is gonna be number one. I'm gonna stretch this, hold this for about, again, 30 seconds to a minute, whatever feels good to you. There's not a perfect amount of time. It's gonna be a lot based on preference and feel. After I hold that one, I'm gonna then push my foot down, and I'm gonna try to stretch my hip into external rotation. So you might feel this one a little bit more in the groin versus the other one you should have felt kind of in the back of the hip. Feel this one kind of in the front, throughout the inside of the hip there, and you're gonna hold that. Then of course, we're gonna do a switch. So I wanna kind of get a feel for, does this feel symmetrical side to side? Can I stretch my hips both ways equally? And then the last one I like to do is just a simple pull my knee up to my chest. If you feel a lot of pinching in the front of your hip, you could try to go a little bit wider, see? But if you just keep on feeling pinching in the front of the hip, that's not what we're going for. We're going for like a little bit of a stretch in the back of the glute there. If you are not getting that, then I would just skip that one for now. Come talk to us if you need to, because we can help you out there. But that's the short hip series to make sure that your hips are feeling less stiff and that you're more active without having any pain.